Right now, you can lease a new 2026 Tacoma for just $289 a month, or get 2.99% APR for full 72 months on a new 2026 Tundra.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota, let's go places.
HSS, #1 in orthopedics and the official hospital of the New York Mets. By Nissan, now is the time to save on an award-winning Nissan at the Nissan Now sales event. Then by Suffolk Credit Union, be a HELOC hero at Suffolk Credit Union. Lock in your seat for every amazing moment at Citi Field with the Mets 2026 season membership. Enjoy exclusive benefits and access to the biggest games. Learn more at Mets.com/memberships. Here are tonight's pitchers, presented by Toyota. Zach Thornton, the intriguing lefty prospect for the Mets. Devin Williams. Get a chance to see the Mets' new closer in action. Craig Kimbrell fighting to make the roster as a non-roster invitee this spring. Well, there is Zach Thornton, set to make the start here. 6 p.m. on a Monday night at Clover Park. Mets, Marlins, spring training baseball coming your way. Next.
To test the toughness of the Kia Sorento X-Pro and the Kia Sorento Turbo Hybrid, we recreated some of the wettest spring.
How much time till first pitch? Where we got 3 minutes till first pitch.
And coldest winters.
It feels like summertime outside.
Get 0% APR for 48 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the purchase of a new 2026 Sorento.
It's been over 7 years since Pastor Billy Richards was treated successfully for prostate cancer at Pearl Harbor Cancer Center, the world's #1 CyberKnife program. I had no pain, no fatigue, and no side effects. After 5 treatments in 1 week, Pastor Billy went right back to leading his Brooklyn congregation. CyberKnife is truly a blessing for me, my family, and my ministry. If you have prostate cancer, I urge you to look into something. Call to learn more about CyberKnife at Pearl Harbor Cancer Center.
The Garcias were ready to upgrade their beloved starter home, but couldn't find the right house in the market. So they decided to convert their current home into their forever home. Ellen sprang into action. She went online to Suffolk Credit Union, secured a loan for HELOC, and transformed their yard into the ultimate entertainment oasis. Now, their backyard is the go-to spot of the neighborhood. So here's to you, the backyard avenger and a true HELOC hero. Be a HELOC hero like Ellen.
Game's on SNY today. 2 minutes till first pitch. 2 minutes. I gotta get a new laptop this fucking spring, bro. Hey, Kukana! What the heck? How are ya? Happy Monday. What's going on, my friend? How are ya? Marlins starting lineup. Edwards, Norby, Morel, Hernandez, Acosta, Alderman, Johnson, Navarrito, Pinar. I think I said those names correctly. On the mound for the Mets, Zach Thornton pitched an A and AA last season. 14 games, 6-2 record, ERA 1.98, 72.2 innings pitched, 48 hits, 11 walks, 78 strikeouts, 0.81 for the whip. Cool tip. Couchman center, Ben's right, Taylor left, Mauricio playing short, Bruhan second, Clifford first, Arroyo third, and Luis Torrens will be the Mets catcher today.
I like Mauricio at short. He looks very comfortable at that position. Well, that's his natural position. There's Mets' third-year manager, Carlos Mendoza. Getting set to watch someone who I mentioned as an intriguing prospect in Zach Thornton, and there's Clayton McCullough, his second year as manager for the Miami Marlins.
Yeah, Zach Thornton is more Frankie Viola than Tarek Skubal.
All right, first pitch to start the game. Foul. Fastball. Goes back into the stands. Counts 0-1 for Xavier Edwards. Played in 139 games with Miami last season. 283 average last season with 3 homers, 43 RBIs, and a 6.96 OPS. Next pitch. That's low and in the dirt. Counts 1-1.
Has the best control of the organization.
89-mile-per-hour pitch from Thornton.
Well, I think in this day and age where everyone's chasing velocity.
Next pitch here. Little too low. Just missed with a fastball. Counts 2-1.
Every individual player. How do you gauge?
Thornton not wasting any time. Next pitch.
A pitcher like this.
Hit. Foul. First base side. Looked like a fastball at 93. Counts 2-2. Last season in the minors,
See that number.
Thornton had 11 walks and 78 strikeouts. It's not bad. Next pitch. Got him.
That's a strikeout for round number 1. So impressive work to start the game.
I don't know what pitch that was, but he got him. One away.
I'm not sure if this is a backdoor cutter or the change running away.
Ron Darling said it's either a backdoor cutter or the changeup.
Inside, off speed down and away.
Next man up.
Mixes everything. Throws the kitchen sink.
Norby.
Connor Norby steps into the box.
Hit. Chopper. To short. Mauricio's got it to first. Out at first. Just like that. 2 outs.
But he mixes both a 4-seam and a 2-seam. His best pitch is his mid-80s slider, but uses that cutter, a changeup, and a curveball.
Control of all those pitches, can throw them in any count. Starts off a little
Next man up. Morales.
Foot totally turned before
Low.
pitching to the hitter.
Looked like a low changeup. Counts
Got a
1-0.
little bit of a herky-jerky motion. Don't fret. That's a good thing. That puts the hitters off sometimes. Steps back. Medium leg kick.
Hit.
And gets another
Chopper to third, to first. Out. 3 up, 3 down. Mets will be up after this commercial break. Again, the game is on SNY today.
Register now on the 797k.com.
I wish to present.
If you want to like and subscribe to my channel, that's entirely up to you. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Happy Monday, guys. It's like fucking 70 degrees in Long Island. I love it. Summertime's right around the corner. Baseball regular season right around the corner. We got Tauchman, Terrence, Bench, Taylor, Mauricio, Clifford, Arroyo, Bruhan, Hayden Sanger is the DH at the very bottom. Tyler Phillips on the mound for Miami, 54 games, 1 start last season, ERA 2.78. 4 saves, 4 OPP, 77 innings, 65 hits, 24 walks, 52 strikeouts, 8 home runs allowed. Here we go. Here's the pitch.
Mike Tucker leading things off.
Hoffman takes a fastball for a strike, counts 0-1.
From Tyler Phillips tonight.
263 average, 9 homers, 40 RBI, 756 OPS.
It does when he relieved 54 games last year.
Chicago White Sox last year, I believe. Next pitch. Inside, counts 1-1. Missed the fastball at 98. Pitch Phillips.
54 times. I was watching an interview with him earlier today where he was asked about it because, well, if you get punched in the face, you're going to be pretty angry, right? So I get my adrenaline going and then
Hit.
I'm angry at the hitter.
Grounded towards first. Phillips going to cover first. And no, they dropped it.
Christopher Morel makes the stop, but in the transfer loses control.
Morel dropped it on the transfer.
Well, it was a really good
Dropped it on the
job
transfer.
to
Said
get
transfer.
to make
Transfer.
the play on his back hand. But once he fell, he could never catch the handle. And if you separate the plays, it was a great way to get it, but then not finding the handle should lead to an error on the first baseman. And this is interesting because the Marlins are very similar to the Mets in that they're trying people out at first base this year who've never played before. Christopher Morel has never played first base.
Lorenz up at bat.
As Luis Torrens steps in the
Foul.
plate and fouls
Fastball.
out pitch number 1.
Foul back, counts 0-1.
And that was the play that Blanco, Red Beatty talked about being the most difficult, where you probably let your second baseman get it and you go over to first base, which is something that is not, instinctual. That's right. For guys that have played elsewhere. Ball gets away.
That ball gets away. And Toffman stole second.
That's at a runner scoring position. Well, that's a good dirt ball read by the batter.
And it counts 0-2 for Torrens. Toffman went to second.
If you are anticipating that as a base runner, then you get that needed start to get that extra base. Very nice by Mike Toffman. Like he's a.
All right, Toffman on second. Next pitch to Torrens.
The 0-2 Torrens.
Low in the dirt.
1-2.
Counts 1 and 2.
This was an area where Luis Torrens really thrived last year.
Torrens, 92 games last season, 2.26 average, 5 homers, 29 RBIs, 629 for the OPS.
935, second to only Pete Alonso on the Mets in those situations.
That's away from the plate. Fastball missed at 96, counts 2 and
It's a
2.
little bit different, but when he is early in the count, he's very adept at going the opposite way as well. He's got some real power to right field and right center.
In the dirt, full count.
3-2.
From 0-2 to a full count for Torrens.
Luis Torrens.
Here's pitch number 9 on the day from
Last
Phillips.
season with the Mets, while Alvarez missed some time.
That's low.
And he works the walk.
Not yet, King.
Real good at that by Torrens there. We said before, 75% of the pitches.
So he's walked, runner on first and second.
Slider, curve, or sweeper. So you're going to see that on 3-2 most of the time.
Gets a lot of swing and miss, a lot of ground balls. Right now, third base playing in on Carson Bench, who takes a huge hit for strike
And swing and miss, counts 0-2 for Bench.
Carson Bench having
I played A, double A, triple A last season with a 281 average. I'm rooting for my Mets, bro. I'm hoping the Mets. It's just spring training, though. Swing and a miss, counts 0-2.
David Stearns spoke to the media today. While he certainly didn't commit to him starting the season on the opening day roster, he did say he expects Carson Bench to be impactful at some point in 2026, even if it's not on opening day.
That's upstairs, counts 1 and 2.
Spring training for David.
There's a fastball from Phillips at 96.
Listen, you don't
Carson
know
Bench
how
is second
many
ranked
players,
Mets
you know,
prospect
disappointed
for
if he doesn't make the
SNY.
ball club, but obviously, he's heard all the rumors about how coveted he is by the organization. Because it's not rumors, they're facts.
Well, it has been interesting to watch how open the Mets have been about
Counts 1 and 2.
their desire to give him a path to make this team on opening day. And David Stearns doesn't always talk that openly about, certainly about prospects, but it just goes to show how highly they think of Bench.
Swing and a miss.
Bench strikes out swinging for the
Struck
first
out
time.
Bench.
Well, you mentioned there's a lot of swing and miss when you face Tyler Phillips. He's got a good breaking ball, 3 different varieties of it, and he really struck him out kind of on the same pitch that he threw him earlier in the at-bat. So one away, now it's Tyrone Taylor who's having himself a standout spring so far. 2 home runs, a double.
Taylor took a ball, counts 1-0.
Tyrone, and I'm sure
2.23 average, 2 homers, 27 RBIs, 5.98
Off
OPS.
that breaking ball that was off the plate really was his Achilles heel all of last season.
That's low away from the plate, counts 2-0.
Plays off a fastball down and away. Taylor played 113 games last year. Had an OPS just under 600.
Hit over towards third. That's a fair ball. Bounces up in the air, and the Mets are going to score.
Third is Mike Toffman. He will score.
Toffman will score.
Is Tyrone Taylor with his second double of the spring.
Second double in the spring for Tyrone Taylor. 1-0
Well,
Mets.
even in spring training, these ballparks, whether you're in Arizona, in the Cactus League, or here in Florida, they tend to play pretty hard and you get some big bounces. And Norby tried to backhand that one, but really no chance. Had a lot of top spin on it. He was hoping to keep it in front of him, but he wasn't able to. The Mets could get themselves around. So second and third now, 1 out for Ronnie Mauricio. Takes ball 1 off.
Ronnie Mauricio takes a ball, counts 1-0. Played in 61 games last season. 2.26 average, 6 homers, 10 RBI, 6.62 OPS. Mets are going to challenge. It's a strike.
That's my bad. I thought that home plate umpire Raymond that he's using call.
Counts 0-1.
Yeah, so did I.
Chopper
High chopping ground ball coming
out at home.
Toffman. He gets tagged out. Sorry, that's Luis Torrens.
Torrens is out.
Taylor advances to third.
That's 2 outs, and runners are on first and third.
Well, really nothing for Torrens to do. Because the ball was hit so slowly, he was running on contact. Contact was right to the pitcher, and Phillips made a nice play. So 2 outs now, runners at the corners. Ryan Clifford.
Clifford up at bat.
So watch a look.
237 average, 29 homers, 93 RBIs, 826 OPS in AA and AAA last season.
You've commented on it. We've seen a lot of base running in spring. A lot of guys trying to swipe second base.
Foul, third base side.
No, as soon as I made that comment, I almost wanted to take it back. In this sense,
Counts 0-1.
is that Clifford, you mentioned it yesterday, most home runs in the minor leagues last season. So maybe if you were running it first, you might want to leave the hole open and also give this big, powerful left-handed hitter a chance to hit a 3-run homer.
Slow and away from the plate. Counts 1-1.
Acquired by the Mets after the 23 trade deadline. He was part of that Justin Verlander deal. Drew Gilbert at the time was the headliner of that deal, but a lot of people in the league said Clifford's the guy to really keep an eye on. He could pop. Last season between AA and
Counts
AAA,
2-1.
he really did pop. 29 home runs, 93 RBIs, and 85 walks.
Low, counts 3-1.
Baseball people, they know what they're talking about. I remember when Jason Hayward had that great spring training made the Braves. I said to Bobby Dews, who was one of their older coaches, I said, boy, that Hayward kid can play. He goes, wait till you see his roommate. I said, who's his roommate? This kid named Freddie Freeman. He's done all right.
Popped up. That is going off the wall. Runners are going to go. 3-0 Mets.
It's a 2 RBI double for Ryan Clifford.
Ryan Clifford. 2 RBIs there for Ryan Clifford in the dub.
Do his thing while he does his thing here. Gets the ball out over the middle of the plate.
Not bad.
Running away from him, and he went right with it. Shows the kind of power he
It had a
has.
little bit more steam on it. It would have been a home run.
Down, still one off the fence for a couple of runs. Mauricio first. That long-legged stride. It doesn't look like he's running that hard, but when he turns it on, he covers a lot of area with that stride.
Next man up.
You know, one of the reasons why Ryan Clifford was
Pitching coach to the mound for Miami.
a guy that people on the outside were thinking was a big part of that deal is because he was an 11th round draft pick of the Astros in 2022 versus Gilbert, who was a first-round pick. But the reason that he was drafted in the 11th round is he had such a strong commitment to Vanderbilt, nobody thought he would actually sign. So this is more of a top-round talent that the Mets got.
Arroyo.
Batter now Christian Arroyo playing third base today for the Mets.
That's in the dirt.
You know,
Counts 1-0.
Vanderbilt has become such a powerhouse collegiate program.
Arroyo A and AAA, 301 average, 5 homers, 39 RBIs, 824 OPS last season, and 50 games.
Selected by Vanderbilt, no ways he's going to go into the draft.
Hit, right field, and that should bring the runner home.
And the Mets tack on another
4-0 Metropolitans.
4-0 Mets.
Right.
Nice at-bats here against Phillips in the first inning by the Mets. Young and old alike. Arroyo's had a lot of time in the major leagues. Veteran right-handed hitter with a nice piece of hitting right over the head of Edwards. And Clifford's secondary lead. There's 2 outs. You don't have to look anywhere to home. And nice job. 8th batter in the inning for the Mets. It's Vidal Brujan.
Brujan. Foul. Counts 0-1.
Ronnie, you noticing the Mets in their approach?
He had 8 RBIs last season in
So far
60
this year?
games.
You know, you always look for little things because this is a team that has new hitting coaches, new pitching coaches. Are there things that they're doing different now that you might not have seen?
Foul. Counts
I
0-2.
definitely see going the other way. Lefty, yes, split right. A royal right-hander hitting the ball where it's pitched. We've seen a really outstanding 2-strike approach from young and old alike in camp. All of those things, I believe, are all possible.
Here's the 0-2 for Brujan.
The 0-2.
Did he go around?
Tries to hold up. He does not.
He struck him out.
That'll do it. But
All right, that'll do it for the first. 4-0 Mets. We're going to the second.
The best Mets moments are the ones you were there for. Welcome to the National.
Top of the second inning.
Now Mets with a big first. 4 runs up 4-0. Leadoff batter for the Marlins. Heriberto Hernandez. Entering his second season in the Marlins organization, made his
87 games last season,
last year
266
after
average, 10
7
homers. I didn't
seasons
see the rest of the stats. Counts all one.
We saw him at the end of the year, but what Marlins player did not look impressive at the end of the year? But in left field, hit some balls awfully hard in that last weekend.
Well, he hit a game-time triple.
That's a ball. Counts 1-1.
Scored Game 1 of that last series against the Marlins. Marlins trailed 2-0 at the time. They scored 6 runs in that inning and won Game 1.
Swing and a
You
miss.
mentioned it overall. He was pretty impressive against the Mets in 6 games.
Counts 1 and
6
2.
for 17, 2 doubles and a triple.
It reminds me when he gets in the box, he looks a little bit like Salvador Perez of the Kansas City Royals in his swing and his manner.
Counts 2 and 2. That's a ball. Hit.
Fouls off
Foul and
the
back. Fastball at 95.
So you mentioned Zach Thornton, not a hard thrower. Sits around 91, 92 with his fastball, but he's one of these guys, these old school guys that leaves a little something extra in the tank.
That's going to bounce away in the dirt and all the way in the back to the backstop, and that's a full count for
2
Hernandez.
strikes. Something to watch.
You mean a guy saving something for a big at-bat? Nice to see.
The definition of a throwback. A little Seth Lugo-esque.
Hit.
Move on.
Ruhan with the out, shallow center.
Out number 1.
One away.
Well, this is something that I teased a little bit off the top. We've got a very special guest. You may have seen him on your screen giving a high five to Ryan.
Hey, David
I
Wright.
believe it's David Wright. Is that the pronunciation?
Calvin, before I forget, did you work on rolling those R's all off season?
Oh, that's good.
Amazing job, buddy.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of people, they spend time with their family during the winter. That's what I work on. How you doing, David?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Great to be in St. Lucie spring training time. It's my favorite time of the year, so fantastic to be here.
What is a day like for you here? What are you trying to accomplish when you're with not just the new players on the major league side, but these young players?
Ball inside and low, counts 1-1.
I get a chance to meet some of these new guys, like this new nucleus that ownership and the front office has put together. It really has been kind of a shot of life to me. Walking through the clubhouse and seeing these guys interact with each other.
Blow it inside, counts 2 and 1.
Using this time to not only get to know each other on the field, but get to know each
Well,
other.
Costa is up at that, by the way.
What makes each guy tick, and just the leadership that I've seen in this clubhouse.
3 home runs last season. 3.
Just guys bouncing off the wall. So excited to get this season started.
Ground ball.
And that got by.
Base hit.
Rolls up center
Seriously,
field.
David, I was hoping that went through. We don't need a quick inning here with you on the night. I know, you may not feel the same way, but
Hey, David,
One out first, one out.
It's always been underrated. You're a great needle. You haven't lost it, even though you've been retired for a couple of years. I really appreciate that. That's one of the great joys of being a clubhouse guy, right?
That's what I miss about it. That's one of the things I miss about it. Is you get here and all of a sudden you can be mean and make fun of people and not get dirty looks.
Making fun of their clothes or whatever. Hey, I wanted to ask you something. If you've had any conversations with Bo about moving on to third base, it's I think it's a little more difficult than people give it credit for. But even if you haven't,
That's a strike, apparently. Counts 0 and 1.
difficult things. Moving from in the middle of the diamond where you're seeing the ball, you're seeing the bat path, you're seeing the pitch and where it's at, as opposed to third base where you're really looking at that angles.
It's a foul, actually. Counts 0 and 2.
Brian, I appreciate your question so much. There's so much more intelligent than good. So that was fantastic advice because I literally just spent about 30 minutes with Bo, right before the game and getting to know him more on a personal level. And he was asking some great baseball questions, some great questions just about the city of New York.
Here's the 0-2.
So I'm excited. I've become a big Bo Bichette fan, so I'm excited to see what he can do. This year,
Foul, just got a piece of it.
That kind of quiet swagger that he has. He knows his game to play. I love watching him play, kind of what he brings to the table. And, for him to reach out and, want to talk a little shop at third base and kind of what it's like in New York. Just shows me how excited he is to be here.
Well, David, as the great novelist Ernest Hemingway once said,
You can't even say his name.
I couldn't even get through that. No R's to roll. That's why I couldn't get through that. David, I was listening to you a little bit.
Got him.
Talk to the media before the game today.
Fastball, 2 outs.
You were saying that some of the conversations you've had with the new coaches have really impressed you. What specifically about this coaching staff has stood out to you so far?
Well, it all starts with Mendy. Obviously, I think that calming influence that he brings, like you never know. His panic button just never gets pushed. It just seems like he's always calm, cool, collect. And I think that kind of, the players feed off of that. But just
Johnson up at bat. Got a foul there. First base side, counts over 1.
But when they're out here, they're really getting good work in. The drills that I see the infielders doing, I think to myself, man, I could have benefited from doing some of those drills. And just kind of the energy that they bring. Like Ryan, you've been to a million spring training, but the energy level can get low in the middle of spring training. Guys ready for the season to start. When you have coaches that kind of bring that constant energy, it gets you excited for it. You get more of the drills.
David, tell me a little
Foul
bit.
back, counts 0-2.
I'm excited. I'm going to bring my son, and we're going to go to the WBC, the final game on the 17th. Tell me a little bit about what those guys are going through, because I know you have that feeling as well as a teammate and coming together as a team.
That's awesome that you're going to see the U.S. with WBC. That's it. I think that it's become so big. It's so fun. And now you're seeing guys lining up and raise their hand and want to be a part of this because it is something special.
Foul, first base side.
One of the things when I was a younger player, when I was an amateur, I always got overlooked to represent Team USA for some of these amateur tournaments, and to finally get that and to wear USA across the front of your chest meant the world to me. And I'm glad that we're getting such great players to not only represent the United States but represent their respective countries. They take it so seriously and want to win this thing.
Go on the first, not in time to take off.
Bring it full circle back to the beginning of the conversation. You talked about this new nucleus and how impressed you were and excited you were and energized you were. But what is the challenge or the approach in a spring where there are so many new faces to come together as one unit as you have moved?
Well, I think that it's, I kind of compare it to a little bit of first day of school where, you have so many great players kind of coming together in one clubhouse.
0-2.
So, not that every player is fighting to be the alpha or every player is fighting to be the leader, but everybody wants to impress everybody. So, everybody's effort level is high, everybody's energy is high, and I think that guys feed off of that. The young players see that and they're like, okay, man, if Toronto is going out and doing this thing and getting that work in,
They call it a ball?
I need to go get that work in and do it in the gym.
Counts 1 and 2.
Francisco Lindor out there getting extra reps. It's like, okay, because I was that young player, and I remember seeing, Mike Piazza. I remember seeing these guys, Carlos Beltran, get these extra reps, and it's like, okay, if they're doing it, me as a young player, I surely need to do it, and that's contagious. And I think that's what I've seen over the last couple of days.
David, most ex-players become the coaches, not the managers of the teams that their kids play on because they don't want to deal with the parents. How do you hold your lip when the manager says something that doesn't make sense?
Well, the good news for me,
Stall second.
So, in the second base safely.
the good thing for me is that I'm the head coach for my kids' team. So if people got a problem with it, they come to me, and it's not like I have a lot of expertise in the area of life. The one thing I got expertise in is sports, and in particular baseball. So if I want to be questioned in baseball, I think I'm gonna, not in a cocky way, I'm gonna have the upper hand.
Tell me that somebody has done it. Tell me that there has been one parent.
Not yet, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm getting a little order in my footage. I'm looking for some, I want to be a little more combative.
Foul.
I want somebody to step to the plate.
Well, listen,
Third base side, into the stands.
Reservation for dinner with Dave Reckonell. Just make sure he pays tonight. Let you go.
We should be warming up a pitcher or doing something productive instead of just eating spread already. But you never know. But guys, it's always a pleasure. Steve, Ronnie, you guys are the best. And, it's always great catching up.
We're right back at you, David. Great seeing you. Be well. Talk soon.
All right, guys. Thank you.
definitely back.
Ball,
Just,
fastball miss, counts 2-2.
It's just amazing. Not only as an ex-great player, but as a human being, you can see why so many. You can see why he was the captain. He'd be a leader, he'd be a CEO of a company if he decided to do something outside
2-2.
of baseball as well.
On the outside, full count.
And it was great to see after Clifford crossed home plate in that last inning. David Wright was on the top step, ready to give him a high five. Imagine being Ryan Clifford, having David Wright welcome into the dugout.
Imagine having your number retired, a Mets Hall of Famer, and you stay for the night game. That's special. I wanted to stay for the night game tonight.
You blocked him?
Got a pitch clock violation.
Or pitch clock violation.
So Johnson will take first base.
There he is. That had to be the hit against Rivera at Shea Stadium when he beat him with that line drive single walk-off to center field over the head of Johnny Damon. It has to be that hit.
He was talking about Carlos Delgado a little bit earlier today as well. And just how maybe underrated he thinks Delgado actually was. And look at David Wright in his career with the Mets. As good as it gets. And we're starting to see some of the Hall of Fame percentages tick up with him a little bit. It's not a big hill to climb, but he said today that he has kept every one of the Hall of Fame ballots where he wasn't kicked off the ballot just because of how much that meant to him.
Yeah. Well, the guys get on as years go by.
2 on, 2 outs.
He's a really special player. And then you put David up next to him, and you go, well, wait a minute. David had just as good a career. Cut short.
Here's the 0-1.
Double steal.
Double steal.
And the Marlins have 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. He said something very interesting, I thought, just about the Hall of Fame in general, not talking about himself, but it did apply to David. That sometimes, especially in this day and age where those counting stats won't necessarily get there.
Counts 1 and 2.
Who was the player that you had to game plan for? Oh, yeah. I was talking about Carlos Delgado was the guy you had game plan for. And those to him were the Hall of Famers.
That's a good way of looking at it. What that really means is that you're one of the elite of your generation. That's what it says.
Hit, foul.
So we've seen in this inning, just to go back
Count
to
stays
baseball
1 and
a
2.
little bit, the Marlins have taken a little advantage of fortune here with the running game. He had a good pick off the first, but he never throw. Didn't allow Clifford to get down at second base. Now a double steal puts him in a little bit of peril. These are things that when he's sent down, he'll work on. He's obviously got a good move, and he almost walked there. So those little things that you get a little nervous when you're a young pitcher on the mound when guys are on base, that will become a little easier for him as time goes by.
Amaretto in center field.
Center field, out.
Underneath.
Or the bottom of the second.
Out of the jam. Comes Zach Newton.
Believe it or not, there are workers who want to pay twice as much for car insurance as people do in other states. Yeah, Albany's legislators and the trial lobbyists handing them millions. Governor Hochul's plan will cut racket insurance fraud and our runaway car insurance rates among the highest in the nation. It'll even force insurance companies to give money back. That's why 86% of New Yorkers support it. Now we just need to get the New Yorkers from here on board.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota. Nice.
It's a new 2026 Corolla Cross L with all-wheel drive for just $2.
Next will be up momentarily.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care or no-cost maintenance program.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota, let's go places.
It's okay. I'm already back. Me too, brother. Me too.
I'm David Wright, former New York Mets third baseman, and I support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. I've seen firsthand the great work they do helping our firefighters, our police, and our soldiers and their families. T2T is asking for your support for these brave men and women. Just $11 a month will go a long way and make a big difference. Go to T2T.org to find out more. Let's go Mets, and let's do good together.
All right, bottom of the second. Here's the pitch.
Mike back for the Mets.
Hit.
Hayden Sanger, and quickly
Sanger hits it over towards shallow left. Leadoff single. That was pitch 30 from Phillips.
Here's Zach Thornton in between innings talking to one of the coaches. What for you, Ronnie, you think is being said there?
But you just want everything positive with young players. You know, they're out there, young pitchers. You just want to say, you know, these are all the things you do well. Hey, listen, just be careful when you're in this situation or that situation. In relation to the
That's a strike. Counts 0-1.
them off. Don't rush your throw. Make sure you throw a strike. Give your first baseman a chance. Little things like that.
Kaufman back up at
resonate
bat.
with you after the game.
That was the assistant pitching coach, Daniel McKinney, speaking with
Next pitch.
Zach Thornton.
Strike counts
I
0-2.
personally did not like any conversation during the game unless it was, you know, you get undressed sometimes by a coach for having a bad game. I welcome that because sometimes you need to get kicked into you know what. But the less was better for me. And that's just a
Go
personal
over the first
preference.
9 times.
But I think the conversation back and forth with coaches is a lot different in my day. You know, that they're always imparting knowledge and information, where in my day it's just, you know, figure it out.
Low pitch.
I think it's a
Down
good point
22.
because a lot of these guys coming up probably don't even know what it's like to not have coaches talking to you in between innings, right?
I mean, when I played, if you did not talk to the general manager or the manager all year, that was a fantastic year. Because you knew you had done nothing.
Here's the 1-2. He went around. He's out.
Talkman waves at strike 3.
Kaufman waved at it.
Meanwhile, you
One
know,
down.
in this day and age, you talk to young players.
Next man
I was
up.
talking to Christian Scott today. I said, what makes this developmental staff on the pitching side so good? Communication. That's what he said. Communication. That's the buzzword.
Luis Torrens.
Now Luis Torrens, who walked and
Strike.
got caught in a rundown between
Counts
the
0-1. 5 home runs last season, 29 RBIs in 92 games.
throw behind Sanger.
Counts 0-2. Throw over the first 9 in time. Sanger stays safe on first.
Catcher Navarretto. He's really good back there. Loves to throw the ball around. Big catcher. Reminds me of size, Martin Maldonado.
He's actually a great story. Throw back over. But he hit a home run last year in his first at bat back in the big leagues. He had not been in the big leagues since August 25th of 2020. So he had a 5-year gap between his last major
Foul.
league
Counts
at bat
0-2.
and his first major league home run. 1,837 days.
I admire those guys that can have that stick-to-itiveness to just keep plodding along until they get their chance again. It's very admirable.
Pop off.
To right field, sorry. Right center field.
Right center field. He's out.
Center fielder Daniel Johnson.
Johnson with the out, 2
He's a
away.
little distracted there because we saw Navarretto right as the pitch was being thrown do something with his hand.
I think he was imploring his pitcher to throw the ball because they were getting close to a pitch violation. So he said, "Come on, let's go."
That was with his non-glove hand. But we've seen a lot of swag, personality behind the plate. We talked about Francisco Alvarez yesterday, but let's take a look first of all. This was the hands. What did he say? What did he say?
I don't know. That's a little different. I haven't seen that.
Carson Benj, the batter.
So if you notice, this is a young hitter, Benj. All he's seeing from Phillips are his curveball. And Phillips is going to keep throwing it until Benj proves he can hit it.
Counts 0-2. Pop up.
He does hit
Left field.
And sends it into left center field.
That'll drop. That might bring a runner home.
On second, rounding second, headed towards third. Coming in to score is Hayden.
Hayden scores, and Homie's got a triple. RBI triple for the Mets. 5-0 Mets.
We talked in the open about how to judge a young player with this kind of talent, and as you start the season with a big club. This is an adjustment in only a second at bat against Phillips that you have to admire. Phillips just kept going to the well with a pitch that he could not make contact on. He finally does, and with the speed that he has, he's a 5-tool kind of player. And he turns it on when he gets to second base and turns that into 3 bases.
People wondering why the Mets have spoken so highly of Carson. That's exactly why.
Counts 1-0.
The gap-to-gap power, the speed, the smarts to adjust. Everybody believes he's the full package and will be an exciting player for years to come in Queens.
And then you have that with his defensive prowess and his
Counts
arm in
1-1.
the outfield. It goes on and on.
Tyrone Taylor takes the ball high.
Counts 2-1. Taylor, 113 games last season.
Had an RBI, scored
2 homers, 27 RBIs. Here's the 2-1 count. Hit.
Background ball, backhanded on his knees by Acosta.
You get the out at first? He did. Damn.
Nice play by Maximo.
All right, 5-0 Mets headed to the third.
The Mets score another 5-0.
Damn it.
Some F words are bad, like 5G home internet. 5G home internet runs on shared cell phone towers, with service that can slow down when more people are online. They call it 5G home internet, we call it flaky 5G home internet. Only famously fast fiber from Optimum delivers the fastest, most consistent, most reliable internet speeds. Don't settle for flaky 5G home internet, stick with Optimum Fiber. If you're still with one of the big carriers and paying a fortune for mobile,
Going to the third, 5-0 Mets.
get unlimited mobile for just $20 a month per line. That's just $60 for your family. Same nationwide coverage you're used to without the big carrier bill. Get everyday value on America's largest 5G network. Unbig your bill with unlimited mobile for just $20 a month. Stuck in a contract? Or pay off your old phones. Visit your local Optimum store. Call 8776-OPTIMUM or go to optimum.com/mobile20. Some F words are bad, like 5G home internet. 5G home internet runs on shared cell phone towers, with service that can slow down when more people are online. They call it 5G home internet, we call it flaky 5G home internet. Only famously fast fiber from Optimum delivers the fastest, most consistent, most reliable internet speeds. Don't settle for flaky 5G home internet. Stick with Optimum Fiber.
Score big on authentic team gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, visit MLBshop.com/Mets, the official source for your Mets gear. The Mets offense has been rolling the last couple of days, scored 10 runs yesterday, 5 runs in the first 2 innings today.
That's a ball. Counts 1-0.
For his third inning of work.
That's Andrew Pitar, the DH. 4 home runs last season. Played in AAA with the Jacksonville team. Strike, I think he went around. He did. Counts 1-1.
Back in 2024.
Swing and a miss. Counts 1-2.
Pitch by Thornton to get ahead 1-2.
All right, Thornton just threw pitch number 40. Foul, third base side. Count stays 1-2.
You know, it's pretty funny watching Thornton throw. If I were thinking about the defense, I would want my third baseman shortstop a little closer to the line. Because he's going to throw a lot of pitches that are down and in. Those balls tend to be hit more to the pull side.
Counts 2-2.
Mets officials really like this kid Thornton. As he paints,
Froze him up there. Caught him looking. Strike 3 out 1.
Strikeout of the night.
Here in the third.
It's like his first strikeout. I think this is kind of a backdoor slider cutter that he is throwing. It's a really good pitch because the hitters are giving up on it.
Back to the top of the order now for the Marlins, Xavier Edwards. He struck out to lead off the game, swinging first pitch.
Edwards chopper towards second. The first out, 2 outs.
2 down. Well, this is between innings. Marlins manager Clayton McCullough, his second year, speaking of the starting pitcher Tyler Phillips.
You like to see that. You know, it didn't go easily for Phillips, and his manager all positive, gets a smile on his young right-hander's face, and he'll leave here with a better feeling than he feels right now. Clayton McCullough did an outstanding job last year. After all those seasons, you forget about
Next
it.
man up for Miami.
For the Dodgers. So he kind of
Norby.
saw excellence at its best. But before that, he was a manager.
Strike, counts all 1.
A frequent manager of the year in the Toronto system. So he's been waiting for his opportunity, and now he has it.
Connor Norby with 2 outs.
Low.
Takes ball 1, count even at
Counts
1.
1-1.
You know, for Clayton McCullough,
Norby, 88 games last season, had 8
in terms of
homers.
organizations, you've got a Dodgers organization with all the resources in the world.
Here's the
The
1-1.
Marlins organization.
Swing and a miss,
that
counts
is
1-2. Looked like a
looking to
fastball.
win on the margins, and last year we saw a lot of that with different techniques to train and calling pitches from the dugout the last week and a half of the season.
I remember
That's outside and low,
the
counts
Mets
2-2.
went to Miami last year. They had a machine throwing about 95 miles an hour on the field, breaking backs of their hitters. I was like, boy, that's not going to last too long. But, you know,
Hit.
just because it's different doesn't mean it can't work.
That's going to roll up left field.
And he's on with a 2-out base hit. Well, it wasn't just the machines on the field, but they also had their pitchers throw their bullpens against live hitters. They do live BPs. Everything was
Morale up at bat.
geared towards
Had
just
11
mimicking
homers last
live
season.
game action in a way that most organizations
This will be pitch
do
50
not
from
have
Thornton.
not to this point.
Just for all the old timers out
Strike
there
counts
that
0-1.
ready to hit the
I think that was a cutter.
30s, 40s, and 50s. Starting pitchers used to throw BP when they threw on the side. So it has been done before. The newer crop will maybe say they've adjusted it, but it's been done before. But I like it. I think
Ball inside
it's
and
a
low.
good way to learn, especially when you have a young staff.
Counts
You're
1-1.
trying to replicate what happens on the field. So not only when you practice, you're trying to practice perfectly. So that's what you bring into every game. But if you can replicate that energy,
Christopher
Throw it to first 9 times.
as we get another throw over. But you know, it was also, for me, the most fascinating thing that they did was on the defensive side, where they wanted to make sure that when you were taking ground balls, you were firing that ball over and not taking your time. So they would set up a timer, and I believe it was, under, 3-4 seconds. That you
Strike counts 1 and 2.
First base, and then have a coach there saying that runner was out or that runner was safe, just to again mimic what it would be like with a runner busting it down the line.
Yeah, they probably took the average time it takes for a hitter to get down to first base. It feels like 4-2 would be that number, but I could be way off.
That's away from the plate.
But yeah, to kind of
And slow counts 2 and 2.
going, so you understood how fast the game can be, especially again for young infielders. Some of them come down from AAA, and yes, there are fast guys, AA, AAA, single A, but maybe there's more of them here in the major leagues.
Fouling back.
Durrell working a good at bat.
I always thought Christopher Morel would have a higher side. What I mean by tremendous power. Kind of an unruly swinger, though. Loves to swing the bat. Can chase, has a lot of chase in his game. But boy, he's got big time power.
There's a 2-2.
It's a ground ball.
Grounded to third.
Goes the short
Out at
bag
second.
to get the
Going bottom of the third.
3 scoreless innings from Zach Thornton.
Don't miss a moment. Welcome to the National League season in England. Amazing. Always.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anyone on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specially designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
It's struggling with the four. Let's see.
So it's gotta be big. Like available pro power on Ford Big. Protected with a Ford security package big. Getting down with a gear big.
Regularly run Ford truck month.
Feels so good. Need a bigger door big.
Oh yeah. And now get 0% APR for 60 months with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days. Plus $1,000 per month cash on select Ford vehicles.
Storm came through with 120 mile winds through our neighborhood. My daughter had an evacuated to our house while we were out of town. Sure enough, power goes out. When the generator kicked back on, and of course, power is something remote. She didn't lose service, and we didn't lose connectivity with her through the entire storm. We both breathed the sigh of relief. To have her feel safe and us feel reassured that she was okay was priceless.
Real customers, real reliability. To get the most reliable internet, visit spectrum.com/stay connected.
17 days until opening day, presented by Vanguard.
2.5 weeks, 17 days until an off day. No, I have not attended an opening day as a spectator forever. So I can't wait to go.
What was the last opening day that we did not have? I remember in Kansas City in 2016.
Yeah, right after the World Series,
Yeah.
right?
I'm trying to think if there were any others. Last year we only had one game in that opening series against Houston. We had the first one.
I really wanted to see, though, the Peralta and the Skeens, right? Matchup that would have been fun to watch. Kevin Fauché is in for the Marlins. He's one of the guys that closed some games for them last year.
He was brought over from Tampa Bay along with Vidal Bruján. He was in that trade a couple seasons ago. Big swing by Mauricio, 2-1.
He's got a really good changeup and breaking pitch. Kind of takes that mound in a pigeon-toed kind of stance before he delivers the ball to the plate. There's a good breaking ball.
Mauricio lays off the 2-2 offering.
It's interesting. Couldn't get a shot of his foot. He is almost off the rubber. He's extreme first base side, just the pitching toe, barely on that rubber.
Do you ever switch sides of the rubber? You've seen Clay Holmes do that
I
already.
did that. I was more of a middle of the rubber kind of guy because I liked it really flat. I didn't like any holes, so I always found the middle of the rubber the best place to
Full
do
count here for Ronnie Mauricio.
Mauricio
Pop up.
in the foul territory.
Foul territory.
And I did not dig a big hole. Like, I would kind of hook my cleats into the inside of the rubber and push off from there, but I wouldn't burrow a big hole.
Full count for Mauricio.
Who's number 8?
And he walked him.
Ronnie Mauricio, who works the wall. So I started to talk about this last inning, and then something happened. We couldn't get to it, but we talked about Francisco Alvarez yesterday and his gear. 2 separate catching gloves, but look at the glove that's black on black there.
Yeah.
From the catcher for the Marlins, Navarreto. Is that really tough to see as a pitcher?
All I could think about was when we showed that picture is Carl Sagan's black hole. It's like everything is dark there. It's hard to kind of pick up where exactly you want to throw. And I think both catchers' targets are a little high. That's kind of thigh high. You want to stay out of that area. You want to
Ball and a strike for Clifford.
When I
1-1.
used to pitch to Gary Carter, when he used to get behind the plate, he sat so high that his target literally was right down the middle. So I would throw to both kneecaps of the shin guards. That's how I
Ball
tried to
counts
keep
2
the
and
ball
1.
down. But I'd rather have yesterday Alvarez, of course, with that mint green gear. You can pick it up easily. But with Navarreto, with all black, sometimes hard to pick up.
Hit.
Hard ground ball.
Double play ball maybe. Out at second. Out at
Second,
first.
out at first.
Damn.
For a 4-6-3 double play.
4-6-3 double play.
Now Alvarez, there's no problem picking up the glove there against that background. That's like a black glove against a green screen. I have a blue screen if you're doing a movie.
So we've got the black glove, the mint equipment, the purple cleats.
Yeah. He's got Riz, man. That's
2 away, no Leon. Christian Arroyo the batter. Arroyo with an RBI single in the first inning. Arroyo spent all of last season in the Phillies organization. Had a great year for AAA Lehigh Valley, hit over 300. Hasn't appeared in the majors since 2023. Originally a first-round draft pick of the Giants back in 2013 at a high school. Off the hands, one hot, and the throw over to the Mets for the first time tonight, scoreless.
That was 3 outs.
Hi, I'm Max. I'm here to pump you up at the pump and save big in the gas tank.
We're going to commercial break. I'll be right back. I'm cooking dinner.
I guess you could say that. I feel like a gas pump.
And you're a word nerd. Bird.
I'll give you $20 for that stick. Oh, okay. $19.
In the classroom, in the field, on the walk. Stony Brook University is a place for daring. Daring to see where you can go when you follow your heart. Daring to define your own path is not always easy, but it's always worth it. At Stony Brook, New York's flagship university, daring to be something more in this world starts with daring to be true to yourself. Stony Brook University. Dare to be.
When my mom was diagnosed with melanoma, I felt powerless. We figured out she had a legal case to get justice for what happened to her. Then a dear friend mentioned rights in Luxembourg. They achieved record settlements for their victims, and we knew they were so very qualified.
Call Waste Luxembourg today at 917-LAWYERS. That's 917-LAWYERS.
After years of putting her family's needs above her own, Janet, mom of 2 college graduates, decided it's her turn to pursue her dreams. Now, it's time to be the hero of her own story. Ready to further her education, she tapped into her equity and secured a low-rate HELOC from Suffolk Credit Union. So here's to Janet, the learning legend and a true HELOC hero. Be a HELOC hero like Janet with Suffolk Credit Union.
Well, no one likes daylight savings time, at least at this time of year. But right now, reap the benefits. It's 7-11 right now. I mean, it's still nice. It's still nice out. Got a little bit of light.
It's beautiful. I mean, I honestly get depressed in the winter. But at 4:30, it's dark out. It drives me crazy.
It's a gorgeous night here, too. It's been really hot and humid the last couple of days, but tonight, nice breeze, high 70s. Craig Kimbrel now on the mound, and Hernandez gets a leadoff base hit.
Kimbrel, one of the best pitchers of his generation, closing games for so many years. You can see his numbers last season, only pitched in 14 games. But at a point in his career, he was probably the most feared closer in the game.
Maximo Acosta, second batter up. 9-time All-Star. Craig Kimbrel, second only to Mariano Rivera, who was an All-Star 13 times. And he's really, at this stage in his career, trying to become a different pitcher. He's not going to run up 99, 100. A little more crafty. And he's got him picked off. In the rundown, it's Hernandez, tagged out by Clifford, and then one down.
Well, I love the old sly fox getting the youngster there at first base. Hernandez just taking too big of a lead. You know what he was doing over there. But Kimbrel saw it, the pitch prior, and said, if he does it again, I'm just going to pick him off. Clifford with the strike, and they made it look easy from there. Very nicely done.
Going to be an interesting decision for the Mets. We talk a lot about the right field decision, but got to figure out the last couple of bullpen spots. And Kimbrel, one of those candidates. Of course, if the Mets do carry 6 starters, that's one fewer bullpen option that you can have. Carlos Mendoza spoke highly of Kimbrel and his progress the other day. As Acosta rounds out round number 2.
Well, you're going to see a lot more sliders than you did in the past. You're alluding to that because you're not going to see 99 anymore. It's not that he doesn't have good enough stuff to get people out. He does. His only problem the last few seasons has been his command of the strike zone. If he can show the Mets that he has a command of the strike zone and can throw 2 pitches for strikes, he'll have a better chance of making this team.
Kent Balderman, third batter up. Ground ball right back to Arroyo. Makes the throw. Scoreless, 4th inning.
I'm Barry Goldstein. I am a violin maker. 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer and I chose cyanide. It only hit the cancer. I'm healthy. I'm basically cured.
Call to learn more about CyberKnife at Perlmutter Cancer Center.
That is why I don't ride elevators anymore. Okay, what's with you today?
Well, I got away with something I shouldn't have. See the brand new Hyundai Tucson out there?
Yeah.
I only paid.
Jasmine's gonna finish you up. Jasmine! Drinking water. Yeah, you too.
Feels so right, it almost feels wrong. Hyundai Getaway Sales.
Recent all-wheel drive Hyundai Tucson SE for $209 a month, or get 0% APR plus 0 payments for 90 days. Hurry in.
I'm putting Abe Lincoln's cane right now. These are 40-something years old.
Yeah.
I really believe that God put us on a course to take care of all these catastrophic leave of service members, both stalled with it.
It's because of all of them that we get to do what we do.
Let's do good together.
Let's do it.
People gotta give every time I miss.
You gotta give $11.
There we go.
You're right.
Donate $11 a month at T2T.org.
Hey, Steve. Hey, Sally. We're just making some salmon and some fried salmon and broccoli. It's 5-0, Steve. Stanley, what's the good word, bro?
Difficult job.
How are you?
New pitcher for the Marlins is Garrett Acton.
Garrett Acton on the mound for the Marlins.
Acton had one game in the majors last year with Tampa Bay.
Ball and another ball. Counts 2-0 for Brujan.
Brujan up for the second time today. Struck out to end the 4-run first inning for the Mets.
That's upstairs and away.
And they count 3-0.
Count 3-0.
Garrett Acton, originally a 35th round draft pick in 2016 of the White Sox. Poison strike one. He's pitched in 7 major league games, pitched 6 for Oakland.
Count 3-1.
23. And that one last year for Tampa before being picked up recently by the Marlins. And he walks the leadoff batter, Brujan.
If you are on waivers from another club,
Yeah, me too, bro. My girlfriend got me his autograph last year.
That's kind of their
Oh, I mean for
organizational
Christmas.
thought. They're scouting players as well that are designated for assignment or waived from clubs, and they think that they can find a gem in some of these guys.
Throw behind Brujan, who had scampered off.
Counts 1-0 for Sanger.
Brujan, of course, incredibly athletic. Hayden Sanger, 1 for 1 tonight. And there goes Brujan. In there without a throw as the catcher, Navarretto, couldn't make the transfer.
Sometimes the pitcher in his stretch
Brujan just stole second base.
will give you an indication that he
Easily.
can't throw over to first base. Navarretto was trying to make it quick because Brujan had gotten such a big lead. He's trying to make up that difference in time.
Swing and a miss for Sanger.
Acton is so closed when he's in the stretch. The more closed you are as a pitcher, the more difficult it is for you to throw to first base. So if you're a base runner and you see that, you're like, I'm gone.
Just misses inside with the 95-mile-an-hour.
Counts 2-2.
Swung on a miss, strike 3. Blows it by Sanger for out number
Swing
1.
and a miss. Struck out Hayden.
So back to the top of the order now for the Mets. Mike Tauchman reached on an error in the first and scored the game's first run. Struck out in the second.
Here's a question, Steve. You're down there with those guys all the time. Is there
That's a ball. Counts 1-0.
Benj makes the team as a right fielder that Tauchman and Taylor can both make the club? Probably not, right?
Probably not. And I think it's got to come into the calculus a little bit. We talked about it in the open. It's not as simple as just results as they throw behind.
They're over towards second, trying to get dude out. He stays safe. He got back there in time.
You know,
Counts 1-1.
set bench down to AAA and keep Talkman and Taylor, and at least, see what happens. You're going to have injuries, performance issues. But if you do decide to go with bench, and they very well might, you're probably going to have to make a call on one of those two veterans.
The dreaded options. And that is if a player could be sent down, they have options left to be sent down. Many a player at the end of spring training is called into the manager's office and say, listen, you have options. That's why we're sending you down. It's not because of performance. No one wants to hear it, but they hear it a lot.
And on the flip side, not having options feels
Counts
like
2-1.
it's starting to come back to bite a lot of these older guys that still have something left, but teams just, they don't want to have the lack of flexibility. I mean, a guy like Talkman is a very good major league player, and he had to wait and ultimately take a minor league deal with the Mets this offseason.
Yeah, I think what happens, though, for Mike Talkman and others,
Counts
if they
3-1.
have a contract that can cover them, they can be released early enough in spring training that they might be able to catch on with someone else who's had some injuries or has a need.
And Talkman works a walk. So 2 walks in the inning.
Walked them.
Got it active.
So a runner on first and second went out for the Mets.
That's a nice crowd here for the 6 o'clock game, right?
It's just a perfect night. Had a huge crowd yesterday, obviously, for the Mets Yankees.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Not quite to that level, but a lot of people out here tonight. Hamilton steps off.
Every chance they get on both sides, the Marlins and the Mets are trying to inch off and maybe steal a base. Ruhan is thinking about it at second, and Talkman's so far up first to try to kind of take second in his wake.
What do you think that's about right now, this spring?
For Ruhan, it's about showing how valuable he can be to the manager Mendoza, to the organization, that they need to take him.
Counts 1-1.
When you get your back up against the wall as a player like Ruhan, you want to show everything. You don't want to go to the minor leagues anymore. You've been there. You know that you're a major league player.
As Torrens fouls it into the
Counts
stands.
1-2.
So Ruhan, Talkman will put the ring back. Ruhan knows what it's like to bounce around. Last season, 3 different organizations, 61 games in the majors, 36 with Chicago, 1 with Baltimore, 24 with Atlanta.
Here's the 1-2.
Both runners stayed put, and Torrens.
That's a ball to Torrens. Counts 2-2.
Reach the seats.
It was a foul. Keep it at 2-2.
Ballpark, 39th year it's hosted Mets spring training. Been a lot of different iterations. There was Thomas J. White Stadium, but that was here in 1988. Tradition Field, Digital Domain, First Data, and now Clover Park.
I don't remember Digital Domain. When I started, it was Tradition. Ruhan gets back. I remember, what was the one you said after Digital Domain?
Well, that's Clover Park that we have now. But First Data.
First Data. I remember First Data. I do not remember Digital Domain.
The only reason I remember First Data is because we were trying to figure out in the open, did we say First Data or First Data?
Right back to Acton, who goes to second.
It's a double play. We're going to the 5th inning.
Double play.
5-0 Mets.
4-4. Mets on top by 5.
Tomorrow, the Mets are back at it. as they face off against the Cardinals for an epic spring training matchup. Cardinals at Mets. Coverage begins tomorrow at 1, only on SNY. Some F words are bad, like 5G home internet. 5G home internet runs on shared cell phone towers, with service that can slow down when more people are online. They call it 5G home internet. We call it flaky 5G home internet. Only famously fast fiber from Optimum delivers the fastest, most consistent, most reliable internet speeds. Don't settle for flaky 5G home internet. Stick with Optimum Fiber. Get ready to experience internet on a whole new level. Upgrade to faster fiber internet and unlock even more of what you already love. Like more speed, greater reliability, and seamless Wi-Fi coverage. Plus, for a limited time, get a price lock for 3 years. Call 8885-OPTIMUM now for faster internet you'll feel today with a price you can count on for 3 years. Ready to save more on TV? Switch to Optimum's Extra TV today. Get 125 plus top entertainment channels, including local networks, live sports, and news. Plus, access over 100 network apps on any device. When you switch to Extra TV, it works seamlessly with Optimum's fastest, most consistent, most reliable internet. And now, when you make the switch, you can save up to $240 a year. That's more entertainment and more savings, all with Optimum. So if you're ready to save more, switch to Optimum's Extra TV today. Visit Optimum.com/getextra.
New pitcher for the Mets is their new closer, Devin Williams, making his third outing of spring.
I'm so excited to watch Devin. I know he's trying to add a couple new tricks up his sleeve. But I think even more importantly, when you're Devin Williams and you're looking back on last year, how to get out of the gate a little quicker than he did last year. That'll be the key.
He's working on a cutter and a slider like you
All right, Devin Williams.
Exclusively fastball changeup.
Played with the Yanks last season, 67 games, ERA at 4.79. I think it's at 18 out of 22.
Once the jam lefties got chased from righties with the cutter and the slider. The first pitch of spring was a cutter, and he gave the home run.
That'll get you off a pitch, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but he's pretty good after that.
Well, I think the most important thing when you're developing or learning a new pitch, and they have ways of teaching new pitches better now than ever before, it can't take away from your bread and butter. It doesn't matter if you master a cutter or master a slider. If it takes a little off that screwgy change that you have a screwball change, then it's no good. So if it complements 100%, if it takes away a little bit from you pronating and turning that screwball change over, then no bueno.
And you know what? It's probably twofold. Not just does it take away from your signature pitch, but does it change the way you think about using your signature pitch? That's something that Clay Holmes talked about this spring, that at times last year, because he was making the transition to starter and adding a couple more pitches, he got away from...
Daniel Johnson up at bat, took a ball, counts one out.
Hard sinker. And he wants to get back to it a little bit more this year. And so for Devin Williams, that airbender change, that's always going to be the pitch.
Strike, counts 1-1.
Well, he's all arms and legs coming at you, and I think that's part of the deception as well. Long legs, long stride.
Counts 1-2.
And it's just,
I think that was either a changeup or a sinker. I can't tell.
You can't hit it.
Barely made contact with it.
It's the 1-2.
I mean, it has its own name. How many pitches have their own name?
37.5% swing and miss last year. That was the 6th best whiff rate among all pitchers in Major League Baseball.
Counts 2-2.
The quote-unquote down year, the year that he struggled, was still an excellent, excellent pitch.
Now, remember, 2025, that ERA really had a tough April, so that shot that to the moon.
That's a foul.
That went foul, first base side.
For Daniel Johnson.
I think the whole thing for a guy that has a signature pitch is that you have to really work hard to not have a tell because it's such a nasty pitch. Very rarely does he throw that pitch for a strike. You know, it usually starts in the strike zone and ends up as a ball.
Kind of like Senga's goes for.
Yes.
2-2.
I love that pitch right there. He set him up, all the slow stuff. All he had to do was paint that fastball. He just missed. And that happens in spring.
Full count. And that went
Into
foul.
the seats.
Plus the grip of that changeup. It's coming off all three of those fingers. The thumb serves as kind of a foundation, and the pinky finger serves as kind of it's a guiding, it's a rudder for that pitch. Johnson goes to that.
So how about that? We've seen 2 time violations.
Oh, it's a time violation. He's out?
One resulted in a walk, and that results in a strikeout
That
for
sucks.
Devin Williams for the first out. So what do you think? Devin Williams last year was one of 10 relievers to record 3 or more strikeouts in an outing at least 10 times.
Oh, my goodness. Right field.
Lofted into right field, bench.
Out.
Towards the
Bench
line
with
for the second.
the out, 2 out.
But I was going to say, if he went out and struck out the side, does that count? That counts, right?
Well, of course. I just think the whole experience of pitching in New York for the Yankees last year can only help him this year as he takes over for Edwin Diaz.
Andrew Pinter.
And that's foul.
That'll go foul. Well, it does say something about him that he went through what he went through last year and signed up for it again.
Yeah, I think the familiarity of having David Stearns there, who knows him, appreciates all the greatness he had in Milwaukee all those years. That was a helping point. Getting through a full season in New York helps as well. But this guy has been one of the great closers, relief pitchers of his time in Milwaukee. Of course, he had the one ill-fated pitch to Big Pete. Met fans will remember that forever.
2-time All-Star, 2-time NL reliever of the year, 2020, 2023.
Counts 1-1.
Former second-round pick of the Brewers in 2013. Nice pitch.
Counts 1 and 2.
That's that cutter or slider. Looked more like a slider to me. But that's a good pitch. Executed. Knees in black on the outside corner.
Justin Willard said, yeah, that's it.
That's the one. That's the one we worked on the last week.
Hit, foul. Count saves 1 and 2.
Another one. So now this gives him a lot of options. He's throwing a couple of sliders now. So he's got him on that slider speed. Now he can pop him in with a fastball. He can throw a fastball away and dot him on the outside corner. Or he can throw that changeup that starts the same area that the slider did, but moves the opposite way.
Goes with the changeup, just misses.
2-2.
Pitched in a career high 67 games last year to Williams. And the count full.
Counts full. Got him.
Strike.
3 outs. We're going to bottom of the 5th. 5-0 Mets.
And it's magic. 2 strikeouts and a 1-2-3 inning for Williams.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Sweet. Peace.
Hey! I like your dress.
You look pretty.
No, you look pretty.
No, you look pretty.
No, you're crazy.
Lease the #1 selling midsize sedan in America, the 2026 all-hybrid Camry with all-wheel drive for just $259 a month.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota, let's go places. In the classroom, in the field, on the water. Stony Brook University is a place for daring. Daring to see where you can go when you follow your heart. Daring to define your own path is not always easy, but it is always worth it. At Stony Brook, New York's flagship university, daring to be something more in this world starts with daring to be true to yourself. Stony Brook University, dare to be.
Long live the morning routine. Long live friendly competition. Long live cozy nights at home. And long live healthcare that works with your life. Access to great doctors, simple mobile app, convenient locations across Long Island. Absolutely. You have options, but at Catholic Health, we'd like to remind you to choose you first, because we did too. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
Curtis was always inspired by his parents, high school sweethearts married for over 50 years. But when Mom got sick, Dad had no choice but to sell their home to cover medical expenses. Curtis saved the day. With a low-rate HELOC from Suffolk Credit Union, he transformed part of his home into a beautiful space for Dad. So here's to Curtis, the defender of the future and a true HELOC hero. Be a HELOC hero with Suffolk Credit Union.
Every Mets moment on SNY is streaming on the MLB app. Stay on top of all the amazing action with an enhanced user experience. Scan the code to download the MLB app today. Carson Bench leading off for the Mets in the fifth. Bench had a triple in the second inning. New pitcher for the Marlins is Justin King.
So his numbers are AA, AAA, Canadian left-hander.
Carson Bench didn't just hit a triple, but did so in an impressive way. In the foul territory, and it's going to reach the seats.
So very simply stated, he faced a lot of breaking balls from Phillips. He swung and missed at most of them, and then made the adjustment. And his second at bat stayed on and watch his eyes. You want to stay down.
All right, well, there's no one here. I'll catch you guys on Friday.
Is that a